You ever notice how everybody wants to be a great leader until they discover what that really means? Leaders are not liked. Respected, yes, but liked? Unnecessary. Write this down. You cannot be liked and be a leader. As Steve Jobs famously said, if you want to be liked, sell ice cream. Don't be a leader. This is the dark side to leadership, what people don't want to face or admit. If you step up to lead, you won't be liked. Leaders are respected. Leaders are trusted. Leaders are needed. But liked? Very rarely. And if they are probably doing it wrong. They might be liked 100 years later, like artists, but in the moment, at the time, when they have to lead, by the people that they are leading, they're not well liked. So why is this true? Because leadership is about pushing people beyond what they would do without you. And people don't like to be pushed. Because leadership is about holding people accountable beyond their own self-responsibility. And people don't like being called out. Because leadership is about influencing people, leveraging people, pressuring people to perform beyond their cozy little comfort zones. And people don't like being sold, controlled, or pressured. In order to execute on the vision that they have, leaders have to push and prod and poke and continually challenge the people around them for the good of the organization, the good of the mission, the good of the company. Like a coach, the players will hate the 5 a.m. practices, curse the extra drills, resent the strict discipline, but they'll love holding that trophy and being deemed champions. It takes an incredible amount of courage to lead because leaders are always doing something somebody isn't gonna like. Because leaders are always doing something they don't really want to do either. Tough things they're afraid of doing as well. They're always taking the next risk. They're always having to challenge misbeliefs, limited thinking, or incorrect information. They're always stepping on the toes of at least half their team. They're always upsetting their spouse. They're always missing out on time with their children. They're always upsetting somebody. Think of it like being a surgeon. Does the patient like getting cut open? Does anybody enjoy the momentary pain? Of course not. But that surgeon knows what needs to be done to save that life. Even the cut open patient will someday thank them for having the courage to do what needed to be done. You can't be a leader without having the courage to hurt 80% of the people that you talk to. Because if they're not completely in line with the vision that you're trying to lead towards, they need to be brought in line with vision, and quickly, before the tribe fractures, before the momentum wanes. Sometimes that means you're gonna have to tell them bad news. Sometimes that means you're gonna have to slap them upside the head. Sometimes that means you're gonna cut them off and let them float. Several years ago, I worked with the CEO of a $2 billion company. He had to lay off 2,000 people to save 10,000 jobs. His team hated him for it. The community criticized him. The media attacked him. But 3 years later, the company was thriving. Those 10,000 families still had income. And he was called a visionary. But yeah, his wounds are still healing. He took a lot of arrows in the back. So know this, every leader has scars. To me, the most important component of being a leader is accepting that you will be lonely forever. That's the unfortunate fact about being a leader. It's hard to be out front because out front, you're alone. It's true. It is lonely at the top. Every general has talked about it. Every president has felt it. Every CEO experiences it. Every alpha of every tribe has had to accept it. To lead, you have to be willing to be lonely. Hey, you come to me because I will always give it to you straight, because I will tell you what most won't. Well, here it is. If you're not willing to be lonely, or you're not courageous enough to be lonely, then you're not fit to lead. Everybody wants to be a lion until it's time to do lion stuff. So to wrap this up and give you some things to think about, here's how to know that you might be trading leadership for likability. Your feedback is always positive. You avoid tough conversations. You protect feelings over results. You choose peace over progress. You accept tardiness. You allow unprepared participants. You let discussions ramble. You end meetings without clear actions. You create realistic goals and expectations. You extend deadlines repeatedly. You ignore missed commitments. You accept good enough. You celebrate partial victories. You overlook mediocrity. You avoid performance reviews. You give unearned promotions. You keep underperformers too long. So, how did you do amongst all those? Share your reflections in the comments below. And remember, your legacy as a leader won't be measured by who liked you, but by who you made better and the positive impact that you were able to achieve together.